In the Kitchen is brought to you by these local sponsors.
Right now, we're going to show you how something old becomes something new again. An ancient grain that's been around for thousands of years is just being discovered in modern kitchens. This morning, we're cooking up a storm in the kitchen with Chef Becky. Hey everyone, I'm hanging out with Chef Becky. We are in her kitchen. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, no problem. We have so many ingredients we are using today, and we are going to be making something totally delicious with a trending ingredient.
Yes, today we're going to make one of my favorite recipes. It's quinoa with black beans and cilantro. Now, if you haven't heard of quinoa before, it's actually been around for thousands of years, but it's just now becoming trendy because it tastes great and it's good for you.
Awesome.
Okay, we're going to start out by adding about 1 tablespoon of olive oil to a large nonstick skillet. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of finely chopped onion. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. I like to saute the onion until it's nice and translucent and cooked almost all the way through before proceeding with the recipe. So now our onion and garlic is cooking away, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of cumin, and I'm adding 1/3 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Feel free to double or triple the cayenne if you like a little kick. It takes about 5 minutes to cook the onion through. Allie, can you stir the onions while I go wash the quinoa?
Of course. Woo! I hope we don't start crying.
So with quinoa, you really have to wash it. Quinoa has a bitter coating on the outside that you really must rinse off before you use it in recipes. And quinoa is very fine, so you need a fine mesh strainer. I'm just going to rinse it with cold water. Okay, I'm coming in with the quinoa.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and give that a good stir.
Yeah.
How's it coming over here?
This is how it's supposed to look.
Yeah, it's looking good. Now we're adding 1 cup of white wine. I have the heat turned up pretty high. We're going to cook all of the alcohol off. So now that the wine has completely evaporated, I'm going to add 3 cups of hot broth. I'm going to stir it well, scrape the bottom and the sides, bring it back to a boil. So our quinoa and seasonings are back to a boil. I'm going to put the lid on and turn the heat down to medium-low and cook it for 20 minutes. So now that the quinoa has cooked for 20 minutes, I'm going to give it a good stir, and then it's time to add our corn. So I'm going to stir this and then cook it for 5 more minutes. So while our quinoa is finishing on the stovetop, we're going to chop up some fresh cilantro. You always want to wash cilantro because there's always sand and mud mixed in. And if you don't like cilantro, you could substitute flat Italian parsley.
Okay.
Or just leave it out altogether. So our quinoa is finished cooking. Now we just need to add the black beans and the cilantro. Okay, now it's thoroughly combined and it's ready to serve.
So how many would you say that this does feed?
Well, I would say it makes about 8 servings.
Okay. So how long would you recommend that it can be in the freezer for?
A couple of months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So before you freeze this, I would stick it in the refrigerator to cool completely before you freeze anything. So today we made my quinoa with black beans and cilantro. It's one of my favorite recipes. One neat thing about quinoa is that it's packed with protein and fiber, so it'll keep you feeling full. So it's perfect for dieting.
And it smells so good.
And look, we made a bunch of lunches that you can stash in the freezer for a busy day.
You're set for the rest of the week.
And that's right.
Oh, it was such a good day. Be able to eat some yummy, yummy food.